optical illusion. This is an introduction video and going to be eventually making this amazing optical illusion art. But first, we're going to learn a little bit about optical illusion art and its history. And yeah, so why are we doing this? Well, first of all, we're wanting to look at and respond to artwork. And we are also trying to make artwork that has unity by arranging the parts and elements so that the viewer's eye moves around the picture. And we're also kind of trying to trick the viewer's eye into thinking like, oh wow, this is an actual optical illusion. We're gonna do that, create the illusion of depth and make that optical illusion by using shading and by using size. So things that are closer to the viewer are gonna be bigger and things that are farther away are gonna be smaller. And we're gonna experiment by with limiting our color palettes by making art with only 1 or 2 colors, as you saw in that example. All right, so optical illusions in art. So if you look at this art piece with the greens, those 2 greens are actually the same color. Yeah, those greens are actually the same shade. They're not different at all. It's just the way that they're arranged in the picture that makes this bottom one look darker. And over here, we see an optical illusion. The white lines in between the black squares are all the same. They're all white. But for me, when I look at it, I see this little grayish dot in between each square. And these are actually the same size, but because of the way that they are arranged, it makes this one at the bottom look bigger. So optical illusions are everywhere. Here's another example. So is this a word or a face? To me, it looks like a face, but sometimes when I look at it in a different kind of angle, it looks like the word liar. If you stare at the black dot in the middle of the screen, the gray might start to fade for you. Try it out and see if it works. All right, is the ball in the center moving for you at all? To me, it kind of looks almost like it's moving side to side a little bit if I focus on the ball. Try it out and see what happens. All right, so op art is actually a genre or a type of art, and it is art that uses optical illusions. It often uses geometric shapes like the ones we looked at, often had geometric shapes like circles and squares. They're often abstract, so they're not meant to look like a certain thing. They often have the impression of movement or having hidden images or having that flashing or vibrating effect that happens when you look at it. That's a common characteristic of op art. So let's look at one op artist. So her name is Bridget Riley. She was working in the 1960s and much later as well. She started out by painting mostly black and white type of illusions, like the one we see here. And in this one, it looks like the picture is actually going like receding backwards and going down. But it's just a flat painting. This is really cool. Later on, she switched to using color to create her optical illusions. Let's look at a couple more of her black and white examples. So this one's called Metamorphosis, and this one is called Fragment. And then here are 2 examples of her color work with color. So this one's called Cataract on the left. That one definitely is doing a vibration effect for me when I look at it. And RA2. So let's talk briefly about color in op art. So just as a general rule in art, we use warm colors in our artwork. They'll look like they're coming forward. They'll look like they're coming towards us. And cool colors will often look like they're going backwards or moving away from us. Complementary colors, so ones that are directly across from each other on the color wheel, So yellow and purple, red and green, and orange and blue are complementary colors. And if you put those colors right on top of each other, they can create a vibrating effect. So here's an example of that vibrating effect. We're seeing red and or pinkish red and green right beside each other. And we're also seeing that cool color receding, warm color coming forward as well in this example here. And then here are some complementary colors on top of each other or right beside each other. And I definitely am seeing this vibrating effect when I look at this red and green one. All right, so we're ready. We have the background information to get started on our actual art. So let's get started in part 2 of this video. Thanks for watching.